1, 2, 3, 4. Yesterday we talked about the future. Can we make it better? Can we make us whole?
Hey there, it's Joe Johnson, host of Beatle Brunch, and I'm so happy to reconnect with a great friend that I've known. I've known you longer than you've known me because I've known you when you were a rock star the first time.
I was a rock star? Go on.
I've got posters and CDs and albums to prove it. It's Joey Molland, who hails from Badfinger, but also from Liverpool and the great country of the UK of England, and of course became a member of Badfinger. You played with one of the Walker brothers, isn't that right?
I did, yeah, in 67 and 68.
Yeah, they had the sun ain't gonna shine anymore.
That's right, yeah. My ship is coming in. I know, yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, it's Joey Molland, and he's been on the Beatles tribute cruises with us. I saw you not too long ago with America on board the 70s Rock and Romance cruise. You saved our butt because it was the two of them and me on stage, and we needed you to be our foil, and you were great. And you told some really good stories about having traded a guitar with one of the guys, and
Yeah, we go back a long way, America and Badfinger. We had a kind of a good relationship back in the old days. We were touring a lot together, doing shows, and I think we'd already had a hit in America. We're just starting out. We're just coming out there. They were, it was great. Anyway, good guys, great fun. They made a lot more money than us, but
they had a couple of hits. They had a few hits.
Pretty much everybody made a lot more money than us. But.
Well, that's the sad thing is when I was doing some research, I never realized that the manager at the time, or the guy managing the money, left town with most of it, or spent it, or wasted it, or put it up his nose, or whatever he did.
Whatever he did, we never found out either.
That's the worst story in rock and roll, and it's so common. But
it's so common. It's incredible. Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I guess being a musician star, being on stage, that rush maybe overpowers your brain, thinking I should trust this guy or something. I don't really know. It's a hard thing, You
know the way your mom and dad raised you up to trust people.
Exactly.
They do, and you trust people, and we trusted Polly. He was a big guy, looked like your dad. He had references from the police department and all sorts of things. He managed Lou Christie and Al Cooper, so he had good credentials and everything, and he was recommended to us by Barry Marshall, from Marshall Talent or Marshall Lane, whatever it is, the booking agency. Because he wasn't his own, he was working with Arthur Howes then, but he recommended, because he booked Lou Christie through him,
Lou Christie was very successful.
We didn't look real hard at Polly, and we went along and trusted him, and he took advantage of us, and really that's all I can say about it. It's hours and hours of misery, and
we don't want to relive it all.
Screw that stuff. Yeah, it's all gone,
Yeah. You grew up in Liverpool, so were you a Beatle fan before?
Well, yeah, of course. I'd seen the Beatles play maybe once, maybe twice at the Cavern when I was younger. You could go to the Cavern. It was a lunch place. You could go and have lunch down in the basement there, and there'd be a group playing, and sometimes it was the Beatles. Sometimes it was the Nomads or the Searchers. It was one of the Liverpool bands, So, I was knocked out when I saw Love Me Do on a jukebox, And I saw it at Capaldi's on Smithdown Road where I lived, So I was really knocked out. And then they started having real hit records, and writing all those great songs. And how could you help but love them, really?
If you had just been able to play the drums between the Pete Best and the Ringo Starr period, you could have got right in there.
No, Ringo was too good, man. There's no chance of anybody else getting the job, So.
What I've heard is the Beatles were in awe of Ringo because he had a car and he had a beard and he was playing with Rory Storm and he was the real deal. So they were
yeah, he was. He was in Rory Storm big time. Yeah, so great. But he was the guy for the job, wasn't he? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But let's talk about you. I want to talk about Badfinger, but I don't want to waste time not talking about the album. Be True to Myself, which is out now. It's your you haven't had a solo. It's your sixth solo album, right? And this one's been about 7 years or so since.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well,
And,
I wanted to make a record with a producer, you know, so that's why it took so long. I wanted to get a great producer, and I thought he'd be great, you know, Mark Hudson. You know, I did the Beatles, I did the Ringo stuff, and he used to go to the Beatle Fest, and we met and we became friends, you know, and just had a great time. And then finally, he agreed, you know, he wanted to do it. He wanted to do a record with me because we became good friends, you know. I sent him a bunch of songs as well, about 40. You know what I mean? Sent him a load of songs.
Wow, 40 songs. Are these most of the ones that you'd written? These were all yours?
Yeah, they were all my songs, you know, at the time. And then Mark picked out 10 or 12 of them, and we went to work on those songs, kind of refining them and, you know, sticking a chorus in there. Mark's really good at all that stuff as well.
He's incredible. And he can do impressions of so many people singing. So do different voices for you, backup voices. But you also, I know he produced the album and he plays on it, but you also have Julian Lennon. How did you hook up with Julian? Have you known him?
I've known him. I've met him when Block came out, went to see him actually. Enjoyed the record and enjoyed his performance. He was really good.
Yeah.
And that's all I really said to him. We just met for a few minutes. He was really nice, and I was as nice as I could be. So, you know, we had a pretty good conversation. And anyway, I think Mark got in touch with him though and told him I was doing a record. Yeah. And you know, he volunteered to come in and do some singing with us if I wanted and all that. So it was great, you know.
What does he sing on so I can pick his voice out? What song?
He sings out on This Time, the first track.
Yeah, the opening track, okay.
Yeah. And I think 3 or 4 others. I think he sings on Rainy Day Man a bit. I think he sings on I Don't Want to Be Done With You and All I Want to Do. I think he sings on those 3 at least.
Wow, that's fantastic. Plus, he supplied the cover art of the guy standing on the rock, you know, looking out over the ocean, you know.
That's right. Yeah. I think Mark talked him into that as well, really, you know. But he did. It's a beautiful, beautiful photograph. And it kind of goes with the title of the album in some kind of way. Be True to Yourself, actually, is what it's called.
Now, isn't that song a song that you had hanging around for 30 years or so? And then you
Yeah. I had that melody for goodness knows how long. Could not get the words. Had the first verse and a little bit of the refrain, but it wasn't until I had a good talk with my brother one night, my eldest brother, Frank.
Okay.
And we just had a chance to sit around and maybe have a bottle of beer and have a chat. And we never really got that in all our lives. He was in the Navy, and he was really older than me. When I was 10, he was 21, 22. So he didn't like knock around with me and anything, you know what I mean? But anyway, we got to talk about life and how life had been for us and, you know, all the things that you talk about, religion, working, people in general, your mum and dad, you know, we talked about all of that stuff and a great conversation. I really loved them. Loved all my brothers, of course, had 5 of them.
Wow.
You know? So anyway, I wrote the words to that song after having that conversation with him, so I was happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be True to Yourself, but it reminds me of Be True to Your School, which is a Beach Boys song. Just the title reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So were you going for something that was a Beach Boys, Beatles, or Harmony thing, or what were you looking for in that? I mean, I know you wrote the beginning of the lyrics a long time ago.
Well, I don't know if we were really going for that. Mark got involved in the lyrics, and particularly in the chorus. But, you know, you can hear on the harmonies on the record how influenced we were by the Beach Boys, by the Beatles, and by all these other bands, you know. So, you know, really, the song's about many things, but the basic idea, be true to yourself, is real, you know.
And that's something that you've adopted, you know, just to not to let this fake Joey Molland to just be yourself and be real and people love you because you're you.
I've always tried to be like that, especially in my songwriting. I didn't want to be known as a guy who sat on the couch trying to write hit songs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wrote the songs that came to me, and then I played them to the band. And
Nice.
if the band liked them, then we did them. You know, so I've got loads of songs we didn't do, of course.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Are you
that's
talking about in the Badfinger days? Because you wrote
yeah,
4 or 5 songs back in those
all,
days for the
all the
album.
way back. I wrote, I wrote pretty much half of the music that Badfinger recorded. So I had a lot of songs on the records. They weren't the hit songs, of course. Pete wrote those big hits for us. Really, Pete was really kind of a couple of years ahead of Tommy and me and Mike in terms of writing songs. And he had a real gift. And at that particular moment, when Badfinger was going, Pete really started to get on a roll as well in terms of grabbing ideas like that, like Baby Blue. They were based on real experiences for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of songwriters write in the same way, but they just don't get hot at the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't have the hits that they might have. But Pete did get hot, and we had hits. So
oh yeah, that's great stuff, man. Going traveling and touring and doing it. But yeah, in fact, Baby Blue reminds me of the last episode of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you, I'm just watching it. My wife and I are watching, and I go, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah, on the final
man.
episode.
You know, we did our best on those records. We did our very best we could. And it's amazing how all these years have gone by and it still stands up. People still like it. And a guy like that, the producer of Breaking Bad, decides, I'm going to use a Badfinger record. You know, it's amazing. Martin Scorsese does the same thing. Let's use that Badfinger record. It's really fantastic.
Well, actually, if you think about it, Breaking Badfinger. I mean, maybe there's there's some kind of link there, Joe. You know, I wanted to ask you about one of the songs. It sounds like I think it's. Let me see. Oh, you know what? It's Better Tomorrow. It's got that it's kind of, and the one after. It's got like the George Harrison slide. And for a minute, I got a little goosebumpy there. Hearing that because it sounded like our friend George or your friend George.
George is was a great slide player. We all know it. But I was playing slide before I met George. I played slide on no matter what, you know.
But he plays it on Day After Day, right? Doesn't he play Day After Day?
He did, boy. He wanted to play the guitar so bad that day, man. Can I play, man? Is it okay? George Harrison. Can I play? I took my guitar off immediately and said, here you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Boy did a great job. Him and Pete did a great job playing together, recording it together, not overdubbing it, you know what I mean? The two of them together. Took a while to work it out and do the riffs, but what a great job. And it sounds beautiful even today, yeah.
It does sound beautiful. I want to ask you a story that you told me one time. You weren't in the band at the time when they were the Ivies, but they were going to record Come and Get It. And I think, or they hadn't recorded it yet, but they were complaining about the fact that they were on Apple and they hadn't had any hits. And then, so can you tell me that story? Was this Pete and
No, it was Ron Griffith who actually did that. He was doing an interview for the paper in England, and they asked him what it was like working with the Beatles, you know, and he said, well, it hasn't done us much good. And yeah, they hadn't had a big hit record, but, you know, they'd had the chance to make a record and make an album, and it just didn't sell, that's all. It was a great record. The songs on it were really good. It just didn't sell for whatever reason. Records don't sell, who knows? Anyway, Paul brought him the song, didn't he? Knock, knock, knock on the door. And he gave him the demo we'd made. He just wrote it for Ringo, actually, for Magic Christian movie.
Right, okay, yeah.
And so he'd written it for that. And he told them that as well, that he'd just written it for that. And he said, you learn it just like this demo. Don't fiddle about with it. No fiddle. Do it like this. I'll come and produce it, and we'll put it out, and it'll be your first hit single. That's how sharp Paul was, man. That's how sharp he was. And he did. He was as good as a word. He came back, took him to the studio. They told me that he had them all line up and sing the song, one of them at a time. and he put Tommy to sing the lead and all that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And then they recorded it. And of course, you know, it was a great record. And it was just like Paul did it with the maracas and, you know, really simple, bit of bass and a bit of drum. Really good. The harmonies were great. And it's got that little drum break in which screws everybody up. You know where it goes? Oh, like that for a second. Nobody knows where the beat is. It's great. So, yeah, he did. It was fantastic. And then, you know, they had the record ready. They didn't have a new name yet. They wanted a new name because there was a band in England called the Ivy League.
Okay.
You probably heard of them. Ivy League did great harmony vocals, really high kind of falsetto vocals on the records, as I recall. So they wanted a different name and was something a bit more rocky, you know.
Yeah.
And Neil Aspinall suggested Badfinger, you know.
Well, that was there was a working title of one of the songs Ringo did was Badfinger Boogie. I guess it was Help from My Friends or
Help from My Friends. Yeah, that's right.
So Badfinger Boogie. In fact, Ringo, when he has paintings, he actually has a painting called Badfinger, and it's kind of a.
That's right. Does it look like John Lennon?
Yeah, it kind of does. Kind of does. Let's talk more about the album. Micky Dolenz is on it. Steve Holley, right, from Wings. And Jason Scheff, who's been with Chicago for like 30 years. He's got that guy has got an unbelievable voice. So he really sings pretty much on everything on the album.
Yeah, right? He's oohs and ahs and harmonies. Rainy Day Man, you can hear him. I'm your rainy day man. That's him, you know. It's just, I'm full voice. Not like I did Mickey Mouse there. I'm good at doing Mickey Mouse harmonies, really good at that. But yeah, Jason's a great singer. Also, he's a fantastic guy. I did that tour with him, the White Album tour.
Right.
And during the tour, I got a bit of laryngitis. And Jason, who was playing bass on everything, came up to the mic and just started singing with me. You know, not singing harmony, but actually singing with me to keep my voice sounding strong because my voice was kind of croaky and sore. And it was a nightmare, but Jason saved me on the tour. Todd came and sang with me on that, so he sang Baby Blue.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, I never saw the White Album show. I know you did a couple of Badfinger tunes, Baby Blue, and Day After Day, I guess. But it was a tribute to the 50th anniversary of the White Album, so you guys did selections from the album, right?
Yeah, that's right. We pretty much did the whole record. They didn't do number 9 and things like that. I don't think we did Cry Baby Cry, which is
there's 30 songs on there, so it's a lot. It's a lot to do. Yes,
it would have been too long a show. Yeah.
So what did Micky do? What did Micky Dolenz do?
Micky did I'm So Tired.
Oh, okay.
And Rocky Raccoon were his highlights. And then, of course, he sang along with us on Birthday and things like that.
Oh, good. Yeah, right.
Because there were certain songs we all sang, you know. And we all played on each other's tunes. You know, Todd did While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I did the backup guitar in there. He played the lead guitars. I played some of the backup licks. So we all kind of helped each other out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Nice. That must have been fun.
Great fun. Christopher Cross was
Christopher Cross,
extraordinary every day. Todd was like a bundle of energy, like a ball of fire on stage.
Well, let me ask you that because you didn't have a great experience working with him in Badfinger, but you kind of put everything aside for this show. I mean, you guys got along.
Well, yeah, we talked about the old days and what it was like. I asked him why he was like that because he was kind of shirty, if you know what I mean. He was kind of uptight about everything and aggressive towards us. He criticized the heck out of us, and he didn't really give us any real respect or anything, even though we wrote all our own songs and we played and sang all our own songs. So, but he wasn't interested in that. And so he produced the record. It was a hard time for us, but the record, that being said, the record was great. And the mixes were great. And it was our most popular record ever. So I really didn't have a lot to complain about. And he's not supposed to be my best friend. He's supposed to be my producer.
That's true. But, you get George Martin was a little more diplomatic if you read the stories. He's like, well, boys, maybe we could try an oboe here.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, he was a little bit more of a gentleman, and Todd wasn't like that. But on the tour, and like I say, we've talked about that a
Yeah, it's
long
been
time
40,
ago.
50 years by this
Yeah, a
time.
long time ago. I've seen him in a bar, had a pint with him, and talked about it and all of that. And so I was quite ready to accept him, and he was quite ready to accept me. We both did our jobs. We didn't interfere with the other guys. We didn't come in there jamming on the Beatles songs. We came in and played the Beatles songs, which is what you're supposed to do. So we were getting on well. And then, I don't know if someone suggested it to me, but I actually went and asked him, do you fancy singing Baby Blue with us? Oh, yeah, I'll do that, yeah. And, he came on and did it. He was great, man. Did Bungalow Bill. It was really funny. He did... it was just great, Helter Skelter and all that.
Well, early this year, when we were still able to go on cruises, we did a 70s rock and romance cruise. And I had never seen Todd Rundgren perform except with Ringo. And I was looking forward to his show, and I really enjoyed it. And he was also, like you talk about Jason Scheff, he was there. He wandered around the ship. He took pictures. You'd see him in the buffet line. And Todd Rundgren was the same way. He was just walking around by the pool, taking pictures and talking to people. And and a super tall guy. I mean, he's really
he is a big lad. Yeah, for sure.
But he was very nice. So tell me your favorite track on the album. And I wanted to ask you if I don't want to be done with you. Are you singing lead on that song?
Oh yeah, sing lead on everything.
Yeah, it's really prints through on that song. I mean, it really does. I really hear your voice push through on that song.
Yeah. I sang the best I could, I had Mark Hudson sitting there, looking at me, So you do the best you can, and it worked out good for me. And he was moving the keys up,
Trying to get you.
He was moving the keys up. Well, let's do this one, and let's do it in E instead of B, which is a long way up. You know what I mean? So,
wow.
But anyway, it all worked out. I really enjoyed all the songs. I loved This Time. I loved Heaven. I loved Rainy Day Man. I loved Only When It Rains. I mean, All I Do Is Cry. I nearly said Only When It Rains, but All I Do Is Cry. Yesterday, the love song, Loving You, I think is a good song.
Yeah,
I think the songs all get to the place, So which do I like the best? I don't know. Certain days, I'd like this song or that song or the other. So I'd rather not say really if I've got.
Oh yeah, that's all right. They're all the best. Yeah, sure.
But I think, like Rainy Day Man was definitely the first single that was going to come out. Just because it's such a cool little tune. And Mark and Gary Burr, who had the original idea, Mark Hudson and myself, we were all involved in the lyric, all involved in the changes. And then, man, Steve Holley put such a bloody groove on it.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable, that guy. He is unbelievable drummer. I'll play with him anywhere he likes. Wow. He's just great. I hope when I go on tour, if I get on tour to promote this record, I can bring some of them lads out.
That would be great, yeah.
They're just great, yeah. There was a young guitar player, a fellow named Jay Shepherd, who was really cool. He plays, him and I split the solo on Rainy Day Man. And he's a rock and roll player, kind of like I am, I think he plays by ear like I do. And so the solos look really close. It's really fun.
Oh, wow.
Just great, man. I really enjoyed it. I love having the slide guitar in there you were talking about. Yeah. Things like that, and the idea of the verses and the words. Mark come in and did the chorus. I had to sing lead on everything, but he really did help with those things, choruses and bridges.
Yeah.
I've never been a big chorus guy. The song would just come for me. I get a song idea. It's generally complete, and I very rarely write choruses in them. You know what I mean? I assume that the refrain line is the chorus. You know what I mean?
Right, sure.
So that's just kind of the way I do it. Maybe that's why I haven't been particularly successful.
Oh, come on, man! But are you still doing Joey Molland's Badfinger as well? So I mean,
still do.
There's not a lot of concerts happening now, of course, but when we get back out of the pandemic. you know,
Yeah, I've got a great little band. My Badfinger band's been together for like, I don't know, 15 years at least. And I started it in '87. The bass player, Mark Healy's been in the band all that time.
Wow.
So, you know, I've got that band going. We know what we're doing with them Badfinger songs. We bring them to life, man. We don't just play them, you know. They're live on that stage when we do it. You know?
So was this album something you did in the downtime of the pandemic, or did you have this around but before all this?
We did the album, recorded it, and actually finished all the work on it in December 2019.
Okay, so it was before anything happened up here.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's Be True to Yourself. And where can people find it? What's the best way? I mean, you can Google it, I guess.
It's on iTunes and all that stuff. You can get it there. It's selling out actually in where it's in local stores, which is good news. But you can get it, and if you haven't had any kind of hard time getting it, go to Omnivore, the record company, omnivore.com, and they'll help you to get it. You know what I mean? Especially the download side of it. But it should be available all over the place. My friend bought it in Green Bay the other day. I've had guys buying it in New Jersey, and you know it's all over. So with a bit of luck, we'll be okay. You know?
Well, it's a great CD with Julian Lennon and Micky Dolenz and Steve Holley and Jason Scheff, and of course yourself. Just an amazing band, amazing, and Mark Hudson producing and packaging it up, and it's so tight.
Mario McNulty engineered it, the Grammy-winning Mario McNulty.
Yeah.
David Bowie and all that guy, Mario McNulty. So it sounds fantastic, really. Even though it's one of my records, it actually sounds like a record, folks.
Yeah, it's really great. I got to ask you, we talked about George, but you worked with John. You did a couple of tracks with on the Imagine album.
Yeah.
Was that, and it was late at night, and you had Spector was there. Was it a weird vibe, or was John loving and friendly? And
John was very cool, totally John Lennon. He was totally cool. I was over the moon, man. Are you kidding me? He came in with his Argyle sweater and his jeans and his sneakers and his acoustic, and he just sat down. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. You know, told Keltner not to mess around on the drums. Not too much now. I just want the beat, just the beat.
And this was at his house, right? Where everybody was in the kitchen and everything. I've seen the video.
That's right. Yeah. He was great, lovely, and Yoko too. Actually, really, really sweet. Anybody needs cigarettes or some coke? It was great. She ran out and got stuff for everybody. It was really good. Really nice scene. And then we played the songs. And you know what's great about doing a Beatles session is one of the Beatles sits down there and sings you the song. You know what I mean? Just by himself with a guitar.
Wow.
So we had John Lennon singing Jealous Guy to us. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Is that some kind of dream world? You know, these are the Beatles, man. This isn't some band. You know, this isn't some songwriter from somewhere. This is Johnny Lennon or George Harrison. They were great. And they were always like that. They were always really normal. They weren't rock stars. They drove themselves, loaded their own gear. Yeah. You know, they did. George carried his own amp and his own guitar into the sessions and plugged them in himself. You know what I mean? Tuned up. You know? Just like a regular muso.
In addition to your band, you would be a great addition to the All-Star band as well, because of the fact that you have a half a dozen charted hits.
I don't think Ringo thinks I've got any talent or anything.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. No, he blames it all on Pete. Hey, you know, he can think what he likes, can he?
Oh, that's terrible. So I want to play on my show. I want to play This Time or Better Tomorrow, because Better Tomorrow is the single, right? That's one of the singles. Or are you looking for the Rainy Day Man?
No, Army. Rainy Day Man was the first single, and then the last single was All I Want to Do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Got a bit of slide, nice little chorus. The second song was I Don't Want to Be Done With You, the second single. We've had 3 out already.
Okay.
In this past couple of months.
Why don't you pick one and then set it up, and we'll play it on Beatle Brunch.
Hey everybody, my name's Joey Molland. You might know me from Badfinger. I've got a new record out. It's called Be True to Yourself, and this is the first single that we released from it. It's called Rainy Day Man. and I hope you like it.
Fantastic. My brother, you are great. It's so awesome to see you again and connect with you. And I hope we stay in touch. And I want to play some tracks from the album and make it
I hope
happen.
so, man. I hope you dig the shit out of it.
I do. I've listened to it like in my studio, like three full rounds this afternoon while I was working on it. Joey Molland, how can people find you? You have a website, a Facebook page?
Yeah, I've got a Badfinger site. I've got a Joey Molland site, which will be open right now. And I've got Instagram and Twitter and all that, and Facebook, of course. Joey Molland. I've got original Badfinger page on Facebook, and I've got well, I'm the only original guy from the band. That's why I put it up there. There were all these people opening Badfinger sites. I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll be back on one of those cruises when the time is right, my friend.
Oh, that'd be great, man. Please, please, please. We loved it. We had such a great time. And you know what I like about it? You know, like you say, mixing with the people on the boat.
Yeah.
They're all really sweet people having a great time. And then the other stars that are on.
Yeah.
You know, you meet people you've never met. You know, BJ Thomas.
Wasn't he the nicest guy?
Ah, that's great. He's so great. He's really cool, you know.
Those country guys, they have their heart is just so big. They're just so
yeah, they're lovely people, man. You know, it's great. It's a great life, I'll tell you, being a musician. It's hard, but it's a great life, really fun.
All right, my friend Joey Molland, I love you, man. It's so great to see you. I hope I see you again when everything is cleared up and everybody's healthy. And
I hope so, Joe. It's great to know you and great to see you. It's great, especially to go cruising with you. It's lovely.
I can't wait to do it again, man.
Awesome. Me either, man. Me either. God bless.
All right. The album is called Be True to Yourself. Wherever albums are sold or downloaded or handed off, that's the place. And Joey Molland, Badfinger fame, of course, a musician and writer, singer, songwriter, wrote 30 songs for this album, picked out the best 10. That means you got 20 left for the next 2 albums.
Good. Well, we got to put those away now and get 10 new ones now.
That's right. That's right. Gotcha. All right, my friend. Have a great day, and thanks for being with us here. We love you.
You too. All the best, Joe. Well done, Beatle Brunch. That's what I say.
Skies are blue, only when they cry. Rainy day man, I'm your cover when it's pouring down. But the minute that the sun comes out, you're telling me goodbye. I'm just an old umbrella you keep around. You don't need me here. your plans. I'm just your rainy day man.